value chain for sustainability. Of course, as we know, we have these inputs, right, involving the inbound logistics, right, like transportation, materials handling, order processing, and so on. There are various processes and system involved to bring in the materials, like, of course, us bringing in the various documents, the processes, the various kind of equipments and facilities, including, of course, the students, right? Yeah, either locally or from international markets, right? I'm sure you also have local students and international students. And going through these teaching and learning operational processes, right? To, of course, to produce the outputs required by the markets, basically our graduates, so that it can be able to contribute. They have this knowledge and skills, and also the attitude, experience, right? So that they can do the work, right? They are being assigned, right? So this higher education whole service value chain, if you want this higher education service to be of excellent quality, we really look at the whole value chain, which any level here or any terminal in the value chain, if it is not performing well or managing well, then it will affect the value of this higher education service. And of course, operational wise, it involves many processes like higher this human resource management, procurement, right, and also the organizational culture, right, and service culture. And of course, in order to manage this whole value chain, you really have to plan for it and implement it, and of course, evaluate and check and continuously improve the various processes and procedures, right, organizational wide. So you can see this plan, do, check, act process and system across the whole institutions, right? Either in that particular locality or other localities physically, or of course virtually, right? So that is the situation that we have to understand, right? Okay. So the various processes and procedures involving the teaching and learning, the research and publication, industrial linkages, community services, we have to be continuously planned and implement and evaluated, and have to be continuously improved. Of course, different institutions, they have different, of course, being structured with various sections or departments or units to do the various planning processes, implementation processes, performance evaluations and improvement auditing processes, and of course rectification and continuous improvement, right? That's why in university we have this academic and internationalization section or department, and also we have this education affairs department, right, and section. And like our university, we have these industrial linkages, right, and innovation commercialization sections or department. And of course, we have this international office, right? We have the student services, right? So some of them will be taking care of the local services, and some of them will be taking care of the international services. So you can see that that is to take care of the entire value chain. Of course, with a lot of supportive services like the library, and also this computer ICT department. We also have the various labs and different faculties, different schools, and so on, right? So you can see that the various procedures and processes, systems will be well taken care of in order to create the intended value, right? To produce these more employable graduates, to have these competent employees who can teach, who can also research, who can also publish, who can also innovate and commercialize their research findings, right? And to not only benefit the students that we are teaching and learning together with us, and also working with others in other parts of the world, and to share information with other parts of the world, right? To improve the quality of life of the community locally and also internationally, right? So of course, now you can see that with this online teaching and learning, right? And also this research and publication and innovations, you find that the situation is even more borderless, right? With the advancement of ICT, right? So teaching and learning now is borderless, just like now I'm talking from Kuching, you are in other parts of the world, right? So it can be very, very cost effective. It can be very efficient, and it can be so inclusive, right? Locally, internationally, and all kinds of students. This is really an open, right? Open, massive, open online learning process, right? So thanks to the technology and also the individuals and groups who actually make this online sharing possible, right? Thanks to ITS. But of course, having said that, the environment that we are in is always changing. That's why you can see I frame it with this economic environment, social, cultural environment, legal, political environment, technological environment, right? The competition, nature and physical environment, globalization, right? All these are the variables which are changing, which all the institutions of higher learning and the individuals and groups of individuals, the various processes, we have to be reviewed from time to time, improved from time to time, right? For instance, like today, the secretariat has been contacting me, right? Using the right technology to reach me at the right time, right? Yeah. So to come up with this right quality, right volume, right service of this ITS guest lecture series, right? So this Rainy was using WhatsApp because that is the right technique, right, to reach me at the right time, right? Yeah, because some individuals, they may not be reading their emails, you know, so frequently, and sometimes you will need to really catch that person last minute and to inform that person last minute, you know, right? But if you are dealing with, let's say, individuals or institutions in China, for instance, you cannot use this technology, for instance, right? Because there are other technologies that you should be using to reach out to and to relate with other people in different nations, right? So you may have to use, for instance, WeChat, right? For instance, you have to use different kinds of communication channels, right? And if you use emails with them, maybe you cannot get them, or you may not be able to get the information back, right? Yes. So that's why I say serving different kinds of individuals or groups or institutions, we may have to use the appropriate strategies and also tactics, right, with the right technology, and also with the right attitude. Okay, just now that's why we say the technical aspect and also the functional aspect.